Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Check It Out, the library talk show that lets you know what's happening in and around the Bethel Park Public Library. We're your hosts, Elaine Volpe
and Christine McIntosh, and we have some fun stuff coming up for adults in the month of July. We have a 3D printer and Tinkercad class for adults on Tuesday, July 16th at 1 p.m. in the adult program room. So this class will introduce you to the skills you need to make your own 3D printed designs using Tinkercad, which is a fun browser-based 3D modeling program. It's easy to learn, so come on, join us, and you'll be a digital maker too.
Can I interrupt
Yes.
just very quickly? Because Rob just showed me recently something else that he made on the 3D printer. He uses it a lot, obviously. He's the one who teaches our classes. And I guess there's this popular toy now that has, it's like an egg with a dragon inside.
Yes.
Did he tell you
He
about this?
showed
But they're
me.
really expensive, right? So he was like, I'm going to try to make one. It is so cool. It was
know.
like better than I expected. So it's an egg that like twists apart. And then there's this really cool, intricate dragon inside.
And that's,
made on the 3D
and that's
printer.
3D printed too, and it's amazing. Like
I
the links,
know.
like how does it do that? Because you don't have
That's
to put
what I
anything
was-
together, and it moves.
That's honestly what I was most like in awe over. But just, yeah, really, really cool. Now that was a bigger project. I think he said it took 12 hours to print. But it just amazes me what you can do on there.
I know, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So come on to our 3D printer class. We also have combination of Western and traditional Eastern medicine on Thursday, July 18th at 6:30. This is presented by Dr. Mark Wenjin Lee, who's an acupuncturist, an MD, and a PhD, and he is originally of China. So Dr. Lee will discuss the history and advantages of combining medical sciences, which I'm a big believer in.
Have you had acupuncture? I think we had this
I
conversation.
have. I've had
I thought so.
acupuncture. I've had that cupping done. Yeah, I believe in if there's a non-pharmaceutical way to solve an issue, I think,
I agree with that
and
as
I
well.
think we've lost a lot of that from our great grandmothers and grandmothers. We've lost a lot of those natural remedies that do work.
I agree.
Really cool. This is going to be a popular one. AI, tools you can use, so artificial intelligence. Friday, July 19th at 10 a.m. This class will cover AI resources such as ChatGPT, Google Gemini, and practical uses for them. We were just up in the offices before we came to tape today, and Rob was using the AI speech generator. He had typed a funny paragraph and had it read it in a British accent, which made it even better.
Yes.
So I have used some. I use the one that Microsoft has, Copilot, just to like to as a starting point, just to give me. I'll be like,
Sure.
oh gosh, I have to write this, and I don't even know where to start. So
Yep.
I just type in some terms like write me in a letter about. And then it just gives me some, like, oh, I didn't think of that. Oh,
Right.
I need
Gives
to
you a
add-
starting point, like
Yes,
you said.
It gives you a starting point.
Because you're a very good writer, and I think that comes naturally to you. But
sometimes you just,
right, you just like,
I
okay,
need
how do
something
I?
to start.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
What was I going to say? Oh, I saw a thing on Facebook that somebody said, I need AI to do my laundry and my dishes so that I can create my art. I don't want AI to generate art for me. And that seems to be right now what a lot of people are using it for.
Yes.
So very, very interesting, very hot topic in the library world. There's a lot of training and just to inform us. It's something new, and that's one of the things I love about the library is there's always something new on the horizon that we get to learn about.
Keeps us on our toes. Keeps us learning
Sure
and growing.
does.
And yeah, that is pretty
It's
cool,
fun.
and it's important.
It is. And then, okay, so the library is partnering with the rec department this summer. We're doing movies in the park. So we had one on June 27th. And the next one is Friday, July 19th at Miners Park. Movies will begin at dusk. We don't put a particular time in because, it could be a few minutes
Varies
earlier or
a little
later. It
bit.
varies. So we will be showing Super Mario Brothers on Friday, July 19th. And then we'll be at Simmons Park on August 16th, where we will be showing Elemental. So we hope you join us. Bring your blanket, your camp chairs. your favorite movie snacks and enjoy a little night out.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
For free.
And Miss Megan will be there with her teen volunteers.
I know she did the one in June. Somebody will be there for
somebody will be
July and August. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We appreciate our teens helping out with that. And we're excited to partner with them on this. This is a new project for the both of us, and I think it's a great, fun summer thing to do
We've
with
talked
your
about
family.
it. We've talked about it for many years, like we should do, movies in the park, and it's finally came together this summer.
Hooray.
So we're
Yes.
very excited for that. And just a reminder that our book clubs still are meeting. We have 5 current book clubs: Monday evening book club. We have a morning and an evening mystery book club, and a morning and an evening like general book club. So if you're looking to read some books and have a little discussion about it, this is the place for you. And if you are looking for some fun, interesting books to read, here's a look at some new fantasy fiction that's coming out this summer. If you like Arthurian legend, Peter Pan, or the Chronicles of Narnia, I have 3 new fantasy novels inspired by these classics for you to try. The Bright Sword, a novel of King Arthur by Lev Grossman. A gifted young knight named Colum arrives at Camelot to compete for a spot on the Round Table, only to find that King Arthur died 2 weeks ago, leaving no heir, and only a handful of the Knights of the Round Table survive. These knights are the ones from the edges of the story, like Sir Palamedes and Sir Dagonet, which is Arthur's fool. Together, this ragtag fellowship will set out to rebuild Camelot in a world that has lost its balance. The Bright Sword is steeped in tradition, full of duels and quests, battles and tournaments, magic swords and fisher kings. It also sheds a fresh light on Arthur's Britain, a diverse, complex nation struggling to come to terms with its bloody history. The Bright Sword is a story about imperfect men and women, full of strength and pain, who are looking for a way to reforge a broken land despite being broken themselves. These Deathless Shores by P.H. Lowe follows Jordan, a 22-year-old woman, and her childhood friend Baron, who were once part of Peter Pan's loyal band of lost boys before they were exiled to the real world. To add to this thrilling story, Jordan has been in withdrawal from Tinker Bell's magic dust and suffers every day. With nothing left to lose, Jordan returns to the island and its stories of pirates and war and the heartlessness of youth, intent on facing Peter one last time on her own terms. Oh, and did I mention that Jordan happens to have a metallic prosthetic hand? This debut fantasy is a richly reimagined tale of Captain Hook's origin, a story of cruelty, magic, lost innocence, and the indelible power of stories. And finally, The Lost Story by Meg Schaefer, that takes inspiration from C.S. Lewis's The Chronicle of Narnia. As boys, best friends Jeremy and Rafe went missing in a vast West Virginia state forest, only to mysteriously reappear 6 months later with no explanation for where they'd gone or how they'd survive. 15 years after their miraculous homecoming, Rafe is a reclusive artist. Meanwhile, Jeremy has become a famed missing persons investigator. With his uncanny abilities, he is the only person who can help vet tech Emily Wendell find her sister, who vanished in the very same forest as Rafe and Jeremy. Jeremy believes it is in that magical and dangerous realm they visited as children that they will find Emily's sister. Alongside the headstrong Emily, Rafe and Jeremy return to the enchanted world they called home for 6 months, for only then can they get back everything and everyone they've lost. This story feels like a fairy tale, full of yearning, grief, and hope, depicting each character's perspective with compassion and drama. So come on in and check out one of these fantasy novels today. So do you like fantasy?
So not usually, but every once in a while, I can definitely get hooked for sure. And I like dystopian type things, which is kind of like fantasy-ish,
yes,
right?
And these do have a dystopian element to them.
Yeah. So it's usually not the first genre that I go
Me
to.
either. But remember the Emerald
I do.
Atlas?
You always refer to this. That was a great book, albeit 10 years ago. It was a great book. Yeah, and that's just one that stood out in your mind, right? It
Because
surprised
it's not,
you.
yeah, it's not something I would have picked up, and
Right.
it was Children's Choice. Was that Children's Choice?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll read it, and I really, really enjoyed it. So yes, 10 years later, I'm still talking about it. Yeah. So that's what's going on for adults. What do you got
Okay.
over for the children?
A lot of good
And
stuff
teens.
over in children's and teens as well. The fun continues. Summer learning is still in full swing, and we have been like overjoyed with. It just brings us such pleasure when the kids come in with their roadmap, with things colored in and checked off, and
I see them running down the ramp with their map in
yeah,
hand.
it's so exciting.
Yeah.
And they're hitting their reading goals too. So they're also not only receiving prizes, but they're getting those coupons from local businesses as well. So it's been really going well, and we love seeing you guys. So keep on stopping in. We have 4 weeks left to go. Summer learning ends on July 31st. And then we'll be pulling the winner to our big raffle on August 1st. So anyone who meets all their reading goals and hits 24-hour mark, then they are entered to win a free Kindle Fire. So that's exciting, and we've just been having a lot of fun with it. So keep up the great work and keep stopping in to see us. It's really what makes our day up there.
Yes, indeed.
So classes are still happening as well, mostly in July. There'll be a few in August, but then that's our time that we're gearing up, of course, for the fall. So just to mention a couple that are happening this month in July, we have Build a Birdhouse. So we've been so lucky to have met and gotten to know the Colmers. J.R. Colmer helped build birdhouses for years. I mean, he's just very handy. You should see his work. It is beautiful, Christine. You would be so impressed.
Okay.
But he's always just done it for a hobby. So he's now retired, and for a long, long time up in the Columbus, Ohio area, he partnered with a local school district up there. The kindergartners were, teachers were doing a bird unit. So to culminate that unit, they would build birdhouses. So he would come in and teach all day, just have groups of kindergartners in and out, and he would teach them how to build a birdhouse. Well, now he resides here in Bethel Park, and we are so excited because he wants to share his talent and his time and his supplies with us. So he brings everything. It's so wonderful. We just provide the space. And so he will teach you how to make a birdhouse to take home that you can then decorate. We don't decorate them here, but you can always take that birdhouse home and paint it, color it, decorate it however you want. And then, of course, put it out in your backyard and watch those birds come. It was really fascinating, too. Like, the hole of a birdhouse is pretty small.
Yes.
Right? I'm like, how do they get their food? And so a wren can actually go all the way in there. Wrens are like one of the smallest birds, right? And we do have wrens here in this area.
We do.
And it's just amazing that they actually go all the way in there and come out. But so that will fill up quickly. The first one was really popular. Our next one is July 17th at 1 p.m. And just because of, the what's involved in teaching it, they will be small groups. So make sure you sign up early if you do want to come to that. Having said that, because it's been so popular, the Colmers have offered to come back again in the fall. So we will be offering this class on a continued basis. But yeah, we had a lot of fun. Build a birdhouse. Then we also have, in July, it's National Ice Cream Day, and who doesn't love ice cream? And of course, we're going to celebrate that. I think I've asked you this before, but do you have a favorite flavor? Mine switches, so I'm going to ask you again.
Depends.
Right? It depends on your mood.
Recently, it's been peanut butter brownie.
Ooh.
So it's peanut butter chunks of brownie, and chocolate ice cream, which I get at Handel's over in West
Yum.
Mifflin. Very, very, very delicious.
Okay.
But I also like the strawberry cream cheese or Graham Central Station from Brewster's.
From Brewster's. That's a good one.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, there's so many flavors out there. And just 10 days I get to go on vacation, and I'm so excited. We're going to Rehoboth Beach this year. But I just found out that there's a Kilwins in Rehoboth, and I didn't know that. And Kilwins has the best
I
ice
was gonna
cream.
say, I don't know about
So good. And my favorite flavor there is coconut chocolate chip.
Well, that would be delicious. I like
Anywho,
coconut.
I know, it's really good. We want to celebrate National Ice Cream Day. So on Wednesday, July 24th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we're going to have a National Ice Cream Day party. So there'll be stories and songs all about ice cream. And then, of course, we will have you enjoy the treat. And you can, put on your own adventurous toppings if you want to be adventurous. Some people just like the classic.
Crushed
My son,
pretzels.
Crushed pretzels? Yeah.
On ice cream with some caramel sauce is killer.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. I'm going to add that to the
You
list
need
of
pretzels.
things to buy. Some people just like to go, plain and not have any toppings, and that's fine. But if you want to get adventurous, we're going to have a whole sundae bar of toppings available to you.
And you'll see me, because I didn't know we were having the sundae bar. So, yeah, I'll be over there.
And
too.
weather permitting, we'll, of course, do this outside and enjoy some sunshiny weather. As long as it's not too hot. Boy, this heat wave,
Yeah.
it's been killer, huh?
It has been very, 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 very.
But a lot of people have been coming to cool off here in the library, so that's a good thing. So yeah, and then we have Art Box on Saturday, July 20th. This is always very popular too. It's for anyone in kindergarten through 4th grade, and we invite Michelle Kirk to come in and teach this art class for us. She's a certified art teacher, has been doing this for years, and we call it Art Box just because we never know what she's going to do. It's just whatever she pulls out of her box that day. So it's always a surprise, but it's always something really cool and creative. So if you enjoy making art, sign up for Art Box on Saturday, July 20th at 1 p.m. And then we have some stuff for our teens too. Just recently we had the game show, which I just love this idea. And there's another one coming up on July 18th. I'm not sure which game show Miss Megan has chosen to do.
It is Are You Smarter Than a Librarian?
Oh, because that's the one that you're doing. That's right. I'm sorry,
and I.
Family Feud. That's right.
Yeah. Yes. Are You Smarter Than a Librarian? So Rob and I will be
So have you been
representing the
studying up?
librarians. Yes. Well, I'm good at trivia.
That's going to be
so-
a good one. I have to make sure.
Oh, yes.
I don't think I'm on vacation. You have to make sure I come to that as well. So yes, adventures and game shows for 7th grade and up. Next one on July 18th at 6:30 p.m. And then she's also doing Can You Survive the Hunger Games? And I think you've seen the movies. Have you read the book?
I have not read the books.
I love the books.
I know, but I did see the movies.
Yeah.
Well, you know what happens? It's kind of like when Harry Potter came out. They were so popular. I wanted a kid to be able to read it first. I'm like, I'll get to
That's a
it. I'll
good
get
point.
to it.
Right.
And then next thing you know, the movie's out, and I don't usually.
Right.
I have to read the book before I watch the movie. But with
Yeah,
that, I don't
but
know.
sometimes,
Yes,
yeah.
and the movie's wonderful. So I imagine the book is very, very good as well.
Usually, at least I find the movies is never good as the book, but Hunger Games was like the one exception that I enjoyed the movies just as much as I enjoyed
I think
the books.
part of it, the movies cannot convey what the character's thinking. I think that's what you miss out. It's
Yeah.
like the nuances of
Right.
what they're thinking.
Right. But anyway, great series. And she's going to do Can You Survive the Hunger Games and kind of test out your survival skills, right? So
I would not make it 10
I
minutes.
don't think I would either. I wouldn't go very far. But that'll be a fun one on Wednesday, July 10th at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. And then there is a Fools in Nature hike that our friends, the Allegheny County Park Rangers, are going to conduct for us. You can investigate how living things use deception to survive in nature. The hike will be approximately 1.5 miles with moderate elevation changes. So bring water and wear closed-toed shoes. Wear your, best pair
we're
of
doing
tennis shoes
that
or
at South Park?
yeah. So that one is at South Park. You're going to meet at the Oliver Miller Homestead parking lot, and that's where Miss Megan and the park rangers will meet you to begin the hike.
And then afterwards, there's that shaved ice guy that's at the parking lot.
Oh yeah, what's his name? That's right. Is he
I
still
don't
there?
remember. I don't know.
He used
I haven't
to
been
be.
through the park. When I come like in, what is it? I guess Brownsville Road. I don't go Corrigan very much, but he's
Yeah.
almost at the corner of
used to
Brownsville and
be.
Corrigan.
That would be a great way to cool off for
Yes.
sure. So yeah, just a lot of fun stuff going on. I always like to highlight, my new thing is kind of just highlighting a new book. So this is called Rise to the Sky. It's actually written by a local Pennsylvania author.
Oh.
So this was one of the books that was up for the Carolyn Fields Award. So the Carolyn Field Award is an award given to a Pennsylvania author each year. It can be a picture book author. We had some early readers that were submitted, chapter book, picture book, as well as young adult. So there were a lot to kind of go through. It was a very hard decision. This one did not win, but I just thought it was a beautiful book and I wanted to highlight it. It kind of reminded me, it reminded me very much of my trip to the national parks that I took back in, I guess that was last summer, right? Just you're surrounded, it's Rise to the Sky, how the world's tallest trees grow up. And when you're in that national park, and I don't know if you've ever
I've
gone
not
to a
been
national
there,
park,
no.
you're literally just surrounded with the one, I think it was Mount Rainier, maybe it was Mount Olympia, had a rainforest, right? So you're walking through and you're just it's just amazing. You look up and these trees are just towering over you, so tall. So this is the story of the tallest trees in the world and how they grow, but they do it in a very simplified manner so that a very young child can understand. I also just love the illustrations and how beautiful they are. And yeah, how long does it take for a tree to grow that tall? And then I found this interesting. How long does a tree live? And some trees can live 1,000 years. I think it's redwoods that can live up to 2,000 years. I mean, that's a long, long time.
Witness trees in Gettysburg that were there during the Civil War in the 1860s. So like those like witness trees really interest me.
Yeah.
You think about, gee, what this tree has seen.
Right.
And there'll be, like bullets and things on the battlefield in Gettysburg. There's a few witness trees.
That's really cool. And then we were there. We did see ones that were rotting and falling down, right? And we're wondering, like, how long did that take before that happened? Like, how long did this tree live? So it's just amazing. It's a beautifully illustrated book. And like I said, it's very simplified. So it's great for, as early as preschool. But then I would read it all the way up to like upper elementary as well, because it really is informative. And then there's, of course, on the back pages, there's even some more facts for you guys, for you to read up on. So it's a great read for the entire family, actually. So Rise to the Sky. And let's see, I don't know. Other than that, what do we want to talk about?
Well, the Bethel Park Art and Music Festival
of course.
is coming up on Saturday, July 27th. It will be on Kim Waitman used this word, streetscape, between the community center and the Schoolhouse Arts and History Center. So we have over 60 artists, local artists, represented. Then we have some premier artists that will be at the event. So Maria Prasic, your cousin, Maria's Ideas Art, her husband John O will be there. We have J.P. Durrell and Linda Barnicott, who I love Linda Barnicott's art. And we have music at the gazebo all day. So I know we have a calypso band, we have like a dulcimer group, and then some more traditional kind of, classic rock. Food trucks all day. We have information booths on the field, and there's still room. If you have a business or an organization you would like to participate, you can check out the library's website. There's a link to all this information. And the library will have a booth there. We'll be playing Plinko that day. And then you can use a blanket, if you want to sit and listen to the music, you can use a blanket. You cannot have chairs on the field. If you bring a camp chair, you're going to have to put it on the track because they have irrigation on the field and they don't want to poke holes.
That makes sense.
So it starts at 10 a.m. It runs until 8 p.m. The artists will be in the community center and in the Schoolhouse Arts. Food trucks on Park Avenue. Park Avenue will be closed that day between Mesta and South Park Road. Splash Park, you can get a day pass, a family day pass for $5 that day. Of course, if you already have a season pass, you're welcome to come. Reginald's will be open that day, and they have a little satellite over at the community center outside of the kitchen with one cold drink and one hot beverage. So we're very excited. It's going
to be a great event. I'm very excited, even though I'm going to miss most of it because I'm driving back from the beach.
She's driving back from the beach.
I'm coming.
I'm coming. I think she's crazy.
I plan to be here by 5 o'clock.
I think she's crazy.
I'm very excited for it.
But grateful. We'd love to see you.
Yeah.
So we're very excited about it. And it's free. It's free to come. The artists will have some of their works for sale. Food trucks, I think we have 4 right now. You can check the website because I don't want to say what
just in case,
wrongly what they are. And it's going to be a great day. There'll be 2 50/50s. We're doing one earlier in the day and then one at the end of the event, and raffle baskets. So we are very, very excited, and it's sponsored by the rec department, the municipality, the library, the community foundation, the education foundation, and the historical society. So it's a fundraiser for us, but it's also a very, very great community event.
Just a community, yeah.
So we hope to see you there. That'll be great.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And I guess that's
it.
We're ready to wrap up.
We are closed on July 4th, which of course you probably realize, but the library will also be closed on Saturday, July 27th because of the festival and the need for more parking. So we will not be here on the 27th.
And still closed on Sundays until Labor Day.
Indeed.
After Labor Day. So thanks for joining us. And as always, if you have any questions on any of the things that we talked about on today's show, you know what to do. Go ahead and give us a call.
Visit our website.
Or better yet, stop in and see us in person.
The Bethel Park Art and Music Festival will be a bloody good time. Come hither on Saturday, July 27th from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. to enjoy the works of local artists, musicians and food trucks on the Park Avenue streetscape. It will be a cracking good time. I hope Andy hears what great lengths we are going to promote this Bethel Park Jubilee. Cheerio.